to see monkey rodeos still exist in 2021, they just seem like they're from the 1800s or something, don't they? This seems like a circus sideshow that should have gone away.
I agree.
Years and years.
And same goes for regular rodeos. I just feel that that's still such a barbaric sport that, if you want to call it a sport, just is, it's just,
some of them host monkey rodeos. And so I think those are some of the hardest folks to reach because, appealing to compassion and animal welfare isn't always their priority.
No, absolutely not. They're there to see, those animals perform with their humans and then the hog tying and all that stuff. I can't imagine that being, not hurting that animal or any of those that they're running around and hog tying and stuff like that. It just seems so cruel and for the fairs to still, to entertain these type of businesses to come out. It's like you said, it seems like such a barbaric, such an old thing to do that still, exists that shouldn't, I was researching and looking online before our this week about this, and I did notice that it seems to be like minor league baseball teams that are hosting these types of events.
That's what it's been historically now, and the fairs.
Of course.
But what's interesting, so in 2020, because of COVID, I think there may have been like one rodeo somewhere and maybe one other. There really weren't monkey rodeos in the numbers that we were seeing in 2019 and before. Okay. In 2021, so far as we can tell, knock on wood, no sports teams are hosting rodeos that we have found so far. It's only fairs. And then what's cool, another cool notice was that the fairs tend to be where the banana derby is held. That's Philip Dolce / Philip Hendricks, who does these fair sideshows. So it looks like only banana derby events are taking place in 2021. I haven't found anything for Team Ghost Riders or Whiplash the Cowboy Monkey. Again, doesn't mean they're not going to happen. They could be at some rodeo somewhere that we haven't found yet. But the numbers are vastly down from in the past. That's good. And we did see a lead up to that. So when we saw how many minor league baseball teams, and there's some other leagues like the Northwoods League, when we saw that there were monkey rodeos going on there, we did a lot of coordinated outreach to those teams, their owners, that kind of thing. In 2016, the minor league baseball president and CEO released a statement, and I want to read it to you. His name is Pat O'Connor. So he said in August 2016, minor league baseball neither supports nor encourages the practice of using animal acts of any kind, especially animal acts for which the Humane Society has expressed serious concerns, to entertain our great fans. So the Humane Society of the United States was one of the organizations that joined NAPSA and PETA to produce a document with a lot of quotes from experts. Good. Yeah. So that was really cool. The thing was, Mr. O'Connor couldn't prohibit he had no control over the specific entertainment shows scheduled at each of the teams, but he could sort of pressure them to make different choices. So since then, some more teams sort of dropped off with the rodeos. And then in 2018, he recommitted to that statement. And he said at that time that teams would not host them going forward in minor league baseball. As far as I can tell, that is true.
Good.
So we're hoping that that's accurate. And then even the other leagues like the Northwoods League, and I think there was one other league, I'm trying to find the name here, but I don't even see those teams having monkey rodeo. So maybe we broke through, at least on the baseball front, and we can just focus on
the fairs right now. Good. Well, that's good. Yeah. Well, for those people who are going out to the fairs this summer and with their families, make sure you keep walking. You don't need to watch those.
Exactly.
You don't need to pay for all that. Just remember you're watching it's animal cruelty show. Just keep that in mind. It's an animal cruelty show. You don't need to watch it. Go buy yourself some popcorn and go play some carnival games and make it a fun day with your family. So, Yeah, that's one thing.
right? You can do it without.
Yeah, you can do it without that. I mean, I always tell people that I'm like, we can live and coexist with animals, but we can do it in a responsible way. We don't need to be exploiting them. I always tell people, like, make sure when you're out on vacation and you see some of these little roadside zoos or little places like that, come take a picture with a tiger or a monkey or an alligator or this and that. Just keep passing by, because it's animal abuse. Just keep that in mind. These guys are just doing they're animal trading. They're profiting, they're exploiting these animals, and there's nothing good about it. There's no conservation whatsoever behind these organizations. And like you said it before, the good reputable sanctuaries will not exploit these primates or monkeys in this case, and they will flourish, and will try to keep them in a sanctuary closest to their original habitat. Obviously, like you said, they can't be released back into the wild. That's one question that I always get. So after you rescue them, and if the people have rescued them, well, why can't we just go out and put them into the wild? Well, I mean, it's like you've never been. It's like you living in a cave for the rest of your life, never taught how to read and write. And how are you going to go out and live in the real world? You're going to need someone's help for the rest of your life until you learn those skills. And unfortunately, after 20 something years or 10, 15 years, you can't really teach that sort of, tricks to an animal like this and have them and expect them to, thrive out in the wild. So, and then especially with monkeys.
Yeah, no, these animals they've never been in the wild. They don't know. It'd be no different than you going to try to live in the jungle.
Right.
I don't think it would go well. And the sanctuaries see that the primates that come from the pet trade and from entertainment are the hardest to acclimate to sanctuary life. Not to say it can't be done, and certainly not to say sanctuary life isn't good for them, but they're humanized and to the point where they don't know how to be whatever species they are. So if it's a capuchin monkey, if we take a monkey from a monkey rodeo and put him right into a group of capuchins at a sanctuary, he or she will not do well. They don't know how to communicate. They don't know how to socialize. They could get ganged up on and could really suffer. So sanctuaries have to be very careful with how they handle those types of animals coming from those industries for that reason, because they don't know how to be a monkey.
No, it's true. And then unfortunately, like you said, and I mean, some of them that do end up getting rescued have to live alone, just because, like you said, they can't be put in with another monkey, because they just won't do well.
It's so challenging, and they have very long lifespans, very complex needs, and to think that these people are breeding them and throwing them into this life, and then they could have decades more of life in a sanctuary or wherever they end up. Hopefully they end up in a sanctuary, but it's just the scope of the suffering truly there's no need for this to be happening. It's sort of really mind-boggling.
Now, do you think these guys that are doing these rodeos, are they going out to these animal auctions and purchasing these monkeys and repurposing them, or is it just more cost effective to just train one and just keep it?
It seems like they train one. I know, like, one of them has 3 monkeys, but it does not seem that they have a rotating population. I think they get one, train him or her, and basically keep that monkey. All of the 3 vendors or purveyors and their monkeys are all aging, to be honest. And so I don't see signs that they are going to have a round 2 or, train a replacement. I don't see that happening. And the hope is that, as these people retire and their monkeys retire, they won't be replaced. Certainly, I don't think there's going to be a financial incentive. I don't think it's a financially rewarding enough career to keep going at this point. As we're seeing teams and fairs canceling monkey rodeos, I don't think there's a place for them in the future.
Right. Yeah, I agree. Same with, like, the magicians in Vegas that used animals, and that's kind of you don't really see that anymore.
You don't. We're getting to a better place.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, it's a good thing, and people are opening their eyes and realizing that the exploitation of animals in entertainment is not such a good thing. Most of the time they're just being abused or being rotated in a matter of, for example, like with the big cats. If you want to use them for photo ops, every 6 months, got to get a new one.
Yeah, exactly.
Get a new one.
Exactly. And, there's we've had some media coverage on the topic, and I think it was in 2017. There was a story, NBC New York investigated monkey rodeos at the Brookhaven Fair in New York. And they interviewed not only Philip Dolce, who runs the Banana Derby, but they interviewed some of the people who were just standing there watching. And it was really interesting to see how many of them felt deep down that this was wrong and they were uncomfortable with it. And they said, it doesn't feel good, and it's good. I'm glad people are opening their eyes to that and admitting that, we can do better now. And in most cases, we do better.
Right.
So that felt good to see that. And then, so that fair, 2017 was having the Banana Derby. And then in 2019, they committed to no longer having monkey rodeos. So
that's good.
That was
That's
one.
very good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's
awesome.
Awesome.
Speaking of works. And so, people who care about this and want to help, truly what's helpful is if you contact the places where these events take place. So, you can look at NAPSA on our social media on Facebook. It's Primate Sanctuaries, I think it is. And you can see what we're posting about, and we will promote, the need when we're writing to someone. You can join us, and you can click on the link and see our letter and join us in contacting them and asking for better entertainment choices that are more compassionate.
That's good.